This is the best movie you haven't seen this year. Fight me. When twin brothers find a mysterious wind-up monkey, a series of outrageous deaths tears their family apart. 25 years later, the monkey begins a new killing spree, forcing the estranged siblings to confront the cursed toy. Starring Theo James Theo James, this movie at a glance seems like a typical paint-by-numbers haunted object story, the likes of Annabelle or Oculus. But man, let me tell you something. This film, with no hyperbole, rules. It's stylized in the same way Edgar Wright stylizes Baby Driver. It's awesome. It's a dark comedy for sure, but it's also an execution, pun definitely intended. From unaliving via bowling ball, wasp swarm, and being trampled by 76 horses, the unalivings are ridiculous, which only lend, on some level, to the terror and the chillingness of this monkey. Let me be clear, that little monster can get in the bin yesterday, but from a purely entertaining perspective, it's mint. The first third of the film takes place in the past, which is definitely a brave thing to do. I respect that. It could have easily gone off the rails when we follow two young characters and then jump forward 25 years later, a third of the way into the film. But director Oz Perkins perfectly goes from one time zone to another, as we see how their short stint with the monkey negatively affected the brothers. Now let's jump to spoilers in 3, 2, 1. The good brother Hal and the jerk brother Bill live with their mom. Their father left for cigarettes a number of years ago. Now I'm not sure if he actually left or was done in by the monkey, but nonetheless, once they find the wind-up monkey, the unaliving comes quick and painful. First, it's their babysitter that Bill has a crush on, but that's coincidence, right? Then, after some hazing from Bill and other school bullies, Hal has a moment of, to be honest, understandable rage, because every nerd snaps at some point. He winds up the monkey, but asks it to end his brother. And I mean, yeah, his brother did die that day in a way. Bill watches their mother pass away from a brain aneurysm in a horrifying bloody sequence. It's at this point that I need to point out how well the comedy works with the voiceover of Theo James. Doctor said it was 1 in 46 million chance, meaning it had to happen to someone. Now orphaned, the boys move in with their aunts and the cherry pie that was their uncle. And I say was because they test the monkey one more time, and their uncle is just like eviscerated is too kind of a word. They throw the monkey down a well. Hal fails to mention to Bill that it's sort of his fault that their mother passed away in the first place. I mean, it wasn't on purpose, but Bill wouldn't see it that way. Fast forward 25 years, Hal keeps himself isolated. He never sees his brother and only sees his son once a year to protect him from the monkey's curse. During his week to see his boy, his brother Bill calls about the passing of their aunt and how it's time to deal with the monkey once and for all. It's framed as a moment when the brothers will reunite to vanquish evil. And it's at this point, I want to talk about the relationships between fathers and sons. Look, I don't plan on playing the dad card all the time, but I cannot imagine seeing this little ball of cuteness only once a year. There's something to be said about how Hal fails to deal with the problem and instead borderline abandons his son. It's weird because it's not like it's on purpose. He's trying to protect him from a curse. But if you'll never see him, why stick around and hurt the kid even more? It's odd. It's like he's trying to be a better dad than his father was for imagining him. Maybe there's something to be said about a father that didn't leave. Maybe he was trying to protect them too. There's also one part where Petey, Hal's son, finds out that he was an accident. Hal delivers one of the best lines, to me the best line in the whole film: "You might have been an accident, but you're not a mistake." And I love that. As a fellow accident baby, Petey, you are destined for great things. Petey doesn't really believe in the whole monkey thing until he witnesses the curse firsthand. It is then revealed that the return of the monkey and the use of its curse was all orchestrated by Bill, once he figured out it was Hal who wound up the monkey and ended their mother by accident, mind you. But still, Bill is on the warpath and he's willing to use Petey to do it. When he sees that Hal is still alive, Bill tries to force fate's hand, but he fails as the monkey, perhaps circumvented by anger, jumps furiously, resulting in mass devastation in the town. Bill gives in and he and Hal reconcile, just in time for Bill to be ended by a bowling ball cannon, and this movie is nuts. The film concludes with Hal and Petey recognizing that they are now responsible for this monkey, but they will shoulder the burden together, keeping the key to make sure that it will never be wound again. And is that okay then? The Monkey is the kind of film that comes around maybe twice a decade if you're lucky. A legitimate black comedy with a bonkers premise, but with actors, or I guess in this case an actor, that can pull it off. Witty, horrifying, original-ish. It is technically based off Stephen King work. It's stylized. The Monkey is the kind of movie we need more of. For me, this film's going to be an 8 out of 10, but what did you think of The Monkey? Recently released on VOD. Go check it out, go watch it, fully endorse it, and yeah, catch y'all next time. See you, everybody.